All right, before we get started with Giants football, just two quick thoughts. I want to give out our condolences as an organization to Sam Huff, obviously a great player for this organization. Did a lot throughout the years. To him and his family, and then a local football coach, Drew Gibbs, from someone who lives in the local community. I know it's hit a lot of people, that I know directly, and the impact he's had on a lot of lives. This kind of ripple effect goes across high school football, and obviously high school, college, NFL. We're all kind of connected in the same world. So our thoughts and prayers go out to him, his family, and the team up there in Rampo. So that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into questions.
Anything you can tell us about Logan? We saw he is out today because of COVID-19.
Yeah, so we're still waiting some official test results, in terms of the long-term ones. He wouldn't be completely ruled out at this point for the game. We got to wait and see, in terms of the test results coming up. As of right now, we're getting ready to place him on the COVID IR just to go ahead and create the spot for movement-wise. I'd say beyond that, close contact-wise, they're going through the whole process. Anytime you have one of these things, guys, I mean, Ronnie Barnes and Justin Marr, they end up having, for each one of the things that pops up, it's 3 hours worth of contact tracing, who was where, who talked to who ate next to so-and-so. So there's a whole map full of things. In terms of practice today, everyone will be out here with us. The only one to be an exception will be Zoe Carter. He's head home again with an illness, completely unrelated to COVID, has nothing to do with COVID, but it's another illness. He's going to be home as well.
So just to clarify, he has a positive rapid test.
Correct, that's correct.
So did he, because he's vaccinated, he doesn't have to test every day, Logan, right? So did he come in and tell you guys he was feeling unwell and that's why you got tested?
It actually was not him. I'm not going to go into the specifics of his personal situation, but it was something that drew an alarm to get him tested beyond this once a week.
When the vaccinated players test, they have a standing day during.
So it's once a week, generally on a Monday. After a Monday night game, could be a Tuesday for us, but generally Mondays.
So his test was when?
He was tested yesterday.
Joe, with Xavier McKinney is the guy who's in a room with him. He has said he's not vaccinated, right? So how does that work with him as a close contact?
So out of precaution for all those players that are unvaccinated, we had a lot of them Zoom in today to thin out the rooms and make sure that they weren't exposed to being in close contacts or being in that situation. So, look, the way we set up the rooms anyway in the bubble, the meeting rooms, they're extremely spread out anyway. We're very specific about where certain players have to sit to make sure they're not close contacts with other people, kind of keep them protected. And we've talked, throughout the year in terms of, both the players who are not vaccinated being very conscious of who they're putting themselves around in terms of being within crowds in the locker rooms, cafeteria, things of that nature. And then also we have to remind the team as well of, look, you got to respect their space as well. We know who the guys are internally. We got to respect their space, that they're not always, all over everything and getting the room right there to operate.
Sounds like, Joe, you've ruled out the possibility with Logan that this is a false positive. Since you tested him yesterday, I presume
there's still another test waiting the results coming back. So there's still another test waiting coming back. But I would not say this is a false positive at this time like we had last week.
And so there's also a risk he'd be out next week, right? If the 10-day thing comes into it.
Again, these are things, there's a risk of that. We got to wait on a couple different things to come back. So nothing's officially ruled out at this point for, the future beyond what we're doing right now.
So the guys who zoomed in will be out at practice.
That's correct.
If he can't play, I assume that means a bigger role for a lot of guys, but mostly Julian Love.
Yeah, Love is a significant role in the game for us anyway. So, Love will be out there playing a lot. Obviously, if you have Logan, there's several guys on the practice squad, would be in effect as well.
How big a loss, though, is not having Logan? I mean, this is one of your leaders back there in your secondary against when you're going up facing Tom Brady.
Well, look, I'd say throughout the year we've already lost a lot of significant players. We don't want to be without any of our guys, especially a captain, a leader, but that's what we've already gone through as a team, right? So everyone has to prepare every week. We get the team prepared every week. It doesn't matter who we're playing. You want to have all your players out there, but the most important thing is everyone has to be prepared that when they go out there they can produce.
You guys have done a pretty good job on Kelsey and Waller the last couple games. Gronk is similar to those guys, or is that just they're all great tight ends? His game is much different than those.
I'd say all three have very different games and skill sets. The common thread would be they're all very, very productive and effective players. Look, Rob's a great player. I mean, he's one of the best to ever play that position of tight end. He's obviously going to be a guy who's a key focus if he's on the field. So we've got to be very conscious of where he is. But, situational football, this guy's had a lot of big plays throughout the years, playing with the same quarterback, Tom. So obviously he's a big part of their game plan.
You said yesterday you'd have a better idea about Saquon after practice. I mean, is he closer, you think?
Yeah, I thought he had a positive day yesterday for us. I wouldn't say that we've ruled anybody officially in or out, but coming off the field yesterday, he had a good day for us.
Would you say he's
You know-
trending in the right direction though still?
Yeah, I would say that.
You know Tom so well, Joe. What's your thoughts on trying to hand him what would be his third straight loss?
I said earlier in the week, I've seen this movie before. I mean, this guy prepares relentlessly. He's the ultimate competitor. So in terms of, what's happened, in previous games, none of that will have any bearing on this game. It's all going to be about how, their team executes and our team executes for 60 minutes.
So when a young player like Andrew Thomas is playing as well as he was before the injuries, when he comes back, do you handle it any differently? Do you start from a different vantage point, not expecting a guy like that to just all of a sudden pick up where he left off if he does move forward?
Well, I'd say he's had a positive course of practice for us so far, but I think what you said is very fair. When a guy comes off any kind of long stint away from the team, whether it's an illness, an injury, whatever it is, when they come back, I don't think anyone just picks back up right away, immediately where they left off. There's always a transition coming back. Now, a lot of times you can get that back through practice. You get into the game, you're still playing at a high level. But I don't think anyone just walks it, onto the field and just picks right back up immediately. You got to get back in the sync of things, playing next to other guys on the offensive line, being within the calls. You really need the competition we had yesterday in practice. Really go ahead and get him back ready. He had a good day of practice for us yesterday in terms of with a lot of good versus good competitive work. He had a good practice for us yesterday.
Are you more confident in him after yesterday's practice being ready for Monday, or is it still kind of the same spot?
I'd say in terms of the movement-wise of being out there, moving around, staying on the field, yeah, I'd say seeing him physically go out there and compete, yeah, it does give you more confidence. That being said, there's going to be some other measuring sticks over the next couple of days we'll take a look at.
Would he have been listed as full yesterday? You said he did team stuff. It sounded like he did do some team stuff. Would he have been listed as full?
I don't know if it'd be exactly full on that right there, but he did some stuff mixed in team, some individual for us. It was good to see him out there finally doing some football stuff, moving around.
Joe, if Saquon has had some down moments this season, it would be understandable given especially the stepping on the foot thing. What have you seen from him in terms of continuing to lead even when he's not on the field?
Are you referencing down moments in terms of his attitude or leadership?
I don't think attitude, but I would think sometimes he says to himself, this sucks,
Yeah, I can't speak for him. I just know I watch him, how he interacts with his teammates, and the impact he has on the team. I'd say, I think anybody who's not available to play on the field, there's a natural, they want to be out there. I don't want to put a word in front of there and all of a sudden create something for him. But look, when I see him with the team, great energy, great enthusiasm, encouraging his teammates, competing every time he has an opportunity to compete in anything, whether that's answering questions in a meeting, it's on the field, doing rehab, practice, whatever it is. So to me, he strives, to be an impact on this team. That comes through in how he works to get back, whatever the case is, and he's done a good job for us right now as a leader.
Two more. You got it.
Joe, what have you seen from J.R. Reid? I mean, it was kind of a signing him off the practice squad that week when you needed it, but is he a guy that if Logan is down is working toward being a part of the game?
Yeah, he's a guy that's I've got more familiar with our system these last few weeks. He's definitely a competitive guy, he's an intelligent guy, and he's a physical player. Those three things right there really help you when you play in a deep part of the field in that safety position. He's definitely a guy that factors in all of our safety positions and some of our sub-defensive positions, just like Logan, Love, and Zay do. So he's definitely in that mix. He's a guy that's been working for us on the field, playing. We rotate all these guys throughout practice. We try to prepare everyone that you never know what's going to happen. It could be something before the game, it could be something 2 plays into the game. Someone's got to go in there and go ahead and answer the call. So he's done a good job progressing for us. He's a guy, that, as you get more comfortable, you play more aggressive. We've seen that from him.
Are you aware of the stat, or are you, that Brady's only lost 3 games in a row once ever in his career, and that was 0-2?
Look, he's got a course for a career. There's a million stats you could tie in a lot of things. I don't think any of that stuff's relative to what we're going to do. We're relevant to what we're going to do Monday night.